Topic for today's video is CAP theorem. CAP, where C stands for consistency, A for availability, and P for partition tolerance. So don't confuse with CAP with this CAP. It is not this, obviously. So this CAP theorem plays a very important role when we are designing a microservices and distributed system to when we are considering different aspects around this one. So we have consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. We'll look into the theorem, but let's see this example. What are the problems that it is trying to take care? So let's say we have application online shopping portal that we have. Initially, we have a small user base. So this system, let's abstract it away with the services, databases, and all that. Let's say we just have some entity, some system which is taking care of the shoppings of the user. So initially user base is small and it is able to take care of everything, but eventually I got popular and this load is increasing. So we have to think of the solution as an engineer, right? So what we have done, we have replicated this one. We have created one more copy of this one. Now whenever a client request is there, it can go to this one or it can go to this one. So now I can take care of double the request that initially it was serving, and the same way we can do third copy, fourth copy, and fifth copy, and I will be able to handle more load around this one. Things were going fine with this one. One day what happens, a gentleman comes here, this one, and they ask for the order status. This one checks into the system, but it responded with the error that it is not available. This gentleman is frustrated because this has created a order into the system, but it is saying that it is not available. So it created support ticket. The things came into the engineering side, and while analysis it was found that this data was not in this system, but it was available in this one. The problem was that request was routed to the first one, whereas the data was available in the second system. This is the problem that happened, right? So how to solve this one? There was an extension to this one, the third phase. So we decided that whatever request you are taking, you will tell me that I am taking this request, and whatever request this gentleman takes, it will respond to this one that I am taking this request. So whenever a request is coming, now the flow is like this one. First it will go to this one, it will ask this other system to make an entry for this one. It will respond with the success that it has made an entry, and then it will respond with the success that it is into the system. Now this user at any point of time, whether go to this one, whether go to this one, they will get the same data. Now things were going fine, but there is problem by the time the next phase comes here, where they are not able to communicate with each other. That is when network failure comes into picture. So what is happening? All the requests coming to this one and they are being denied because it is not able to communicate with the other system, right? So here you see the user experience is very bad at this point of time, because we are saying that we are not available just because I am not able to communicate with the other partner. So we have to fix this, right? What is the fix around this one? We can make an entry of all the requests that I am taking here, and whenever this other partner is available, I can say that you do not accept any request until unless you have copied all the data from here. So whenever they have copied all the data, then they will be able to take the new request. So see, whenever we talked about that this problem, that they were denying the request, and when we are saying that this one, we were talking about the consistency, the word consistency, that our systems are not consistent. And due to this, when this was not able to communicate with the other, then we said that there is a partition happened, and we decided a compromise. Like initially it was not responding to make sure that our systems are consistent, but then it came to a conclusion that our system will be eventually consistent, but for now we are available, the third word. So it talked about all the three things: consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. So CAP theorem states the same thing. We have C, we have A, we have partition tolerance. So if we draw this Venn diagram here, so CAP theorem says at any point of time we cannot guarantee all these three words: consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. But it has to prioritize two and compromise one. So in ideal cases, we can have a system which is consistent and available by compromising partition tolerance. It can be available and partition tolerance. It can be this partition tolerance and consistent, but not all three same time. So let's see this one. CAP theorem, it applies to distributed and microservices based system. We already saw this one. What these three keywords stands for: consistency, that means every read operation returns the most recent write or an error. Availability, every request receives a response without guarantee that it contains the most recent version of the information. Partition tolerance, that system continues to function even when a network partition occurs. The CAP theorem states it is impossible for a distributed system to provide all of the three characteristics simultaneously. A system can only provide two out of three characteristics. So let's see the examples of these three, the different combinations that we have. Consistent and available, the example of this one is the banking or e-commerce. We want to see the most consistent data in the banking, whether if they are not, the creation operations will be blocked at that point of time. So banking operations needs the most consistent availability, and we want to be available also. So the banking in an example, MySQL and Oracle database is another example where they prioritizes consistency and availability over partition tolerance. The second system is the consistency and partition tolerance. Example of this one, Google's Spanner database and financial trading application, where they prioritizes consistency and partition tolerance over availability. So if there is any network failure, they will say we are not available at that point of time. But they don't compromise on the consistency side. The third one is the availability and partition tolerance. So here availability and partition tolerance is prioritized over consistency. So if we see the example, it is a social media and content delivery networks where we want to be available and partition tolerance at the cost of consistency. So let's say you post a tweet on the Twitter account, you post a tweet, you are able to see when you are in India, but you are not able to see your US for the time being. It is okay. Eventually we will be able to see that. For now you are not able to see that, so it is okay to for this scenario. So that's what these systems are there. Examples are very important. Collect as much example as possible around this one. Only then it will give you the clear understanding of these things, that compromises that it has and what this theorem talks about. Every theorem has criticism around this one, right? Because it talks about the limited area. So let's see the criticism around this one. Oversimplification, it talks about only these three terms in the distributed system, but there are other things like latency, durability, and fault tolerance. It is not taking into that account. Limited applicability, it is not applicable at all the places. It assumes that all the data in the system is equally important, but that is not the scenario in the actual real world. Some data is more important other than that. So in a system we can have not an ideal state of the combination, but different combinations around that one at other point of times. Misleading trade-off, the theorem suggests that designers must choose between consistency and availability during a partition, but in reality the trade-off may not be binary. It is it is not true or false, yes and no. There are more around this one. Subsystems may be able to provide both strong consistency and high availability during normal operations, but trade-off consistency only occurs when there is a network partition. Lack of practical guidance, this theorem does not provide any examples or how to apply these things by choosing the different technologies algorithm. It leaves that to the designers to choose that part. And these criticisms, when there are criticisms, there are like new things being born. So there is extension to these theorems. So extension, I'll just reiterate the names around this one. The details, I have just provided the basic details, but more details can be found on the Google. You can go ahead and search around this one, but you got the basic idea that there are extension theorems of the CAP itself. First one is the PACELC, which stands for partition tolerance, availability, consistency. It was from the CAP. Else, latency with consistency. When latency is important, we have to choose between strong consistency and weak consistency. Weak is an eventual consistency actually. So it can say that if you have three systems, if latency is important and user is requesting, it can say that when this first system has got the entry, it will respond immediately to the user, and at the same time asynchronously it will ask other system to update there, but it won't wait for their response. This detail of the weak and strong consistency, CAP theorem does not cover this one. Another one is the base, basically available, soft state, eventually consistent. It acknowledges that strong consistency may be impossible or impractical in certain situations. The next one is the CRDTs, which is conflict-free replicated data types. These are a class of the data structure designed to work in a distributed system where strong consistency is not possible. So it gives you the different algorithms which can be applied when there is the need to sync the data after network failure recovers. So because if there is a failure on this one, it is not able to take this data, and when it is coming available, it needs to take all this data into this one, right? And all of the data into this one needs to go to in this one, so that all the systems are consistent. So these are the different things that can be applied to solve this problem. The next one is the RAM, relaxed consistency, available, partition tolerance, and monotonicity. It is similar to the base concept. It acknowledges that a strong consistency may not be achievable in all cases, but focuses specifically on ensuring that system remains monotonic, meaning that a client sees a particular version of the data, it will never see an older version, which is older, it won't be able to see that when that stage is passed actually. So that was it about the CAP theorem and extension of this one. Let's conclude it with a couple of words around this one. CAP theorem provides a useful framework for understanding the trade-offs in the distributed system, but has been criticized for being too simplistic. Extensions and refinements have been proposed to address those limitations. Ultimately, the choice of the trade-offs depends on the specific requirement of the application and underlying data model that is there. It leaves that to the designer and the specific use case that you have. With that, we need to conclude this video. The next one is the questions around this CAP theorem, so that we get more into the CAP theorem and get the proper understanding around this one, right? So let's see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.